We're here, finally. Patriots versus Rams, Super Bowl 53. I'm excited. You should be excited. Let me just start by plugging the podcast. We're on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're on Laughable. We did a whole Super Bowl extravaganza. I had my friends talk about prop bets. Monica joined me to talk about Super Bowl food and the perfect party and everything. So before you watch the big game, please check out the podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, all of that. And, of course, there's Twitter.com for the best in sports and entertainment. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Enough of the plugs. I'm so excited for this game. I'm excited for... I was talking to somebody. I think it's probably my second favorite day of the year. I think you have the Christmas morning and then Super Bowl. And even that, they're close. It's not like a distant second. It's close. I love it. It's so fun. Everything about it. That's coming from a Cowboys fan. Never even had, since I was 5 years old, never had my team in the big game. It's just exciting. It's great. As a sports fan, especially a football fan, Super Bowl, man, we're here. So let's get to it. Rams versus Patriots. Not to put the cart before the horse, but I'm going Patriots. And here's why. Now, first of all, let me just say both teams had extremely lucky breaks to get to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Saints, if you follow football at all, you've heard about this because every Saints fan, analyst, every resident of the city of New Orleans, they're all complaining about that pass interference call. It was a bad call. He got tackled. The counter argument always with bad calls is if the game was that close, you set yourself up for that sort of situation, right? So that's always possible. I would be pissed, though. If I was a fan, I'd be furious, obviously. But the Patriots also caught an extremely lucky break. There was a couple, but the Edelman one where the muffed punt bounced over him and barely missed him, almost touched him, that wasn't really a mistake. It was a close call, I would say. The mistake was, or the lucky break, I should say, was the Chiefs lining up offsides, obviously. D Ford, I think the guy's name was. I feel like he's still not getting enough flack for that. He just ruined that season, the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl. They got a pick on that play. He had nothing to do with that interception, so it's not like he affected the play. He just lined off offsides for no reason and really lost the Chiefs that game. So if you're looking for a scapegoat, that's more of a Bill Buckner moment than the refs sort of messing up a call, which happens a lot. Granted, that was a blatant one. Regardless, we're here. That's kind of how the playoffs work. That's how the Super Bowl works. I guarantee there'll be some controversial call that everyone will be talking about on Monday morning, the Super Bowl as well. But the bottom line is this, and this is what I've been saying the entire playoffs. I can't see the Rams coming in and beating the Patriots. I just can't. And I understand it happened last year, right? I thought the Patriots were going to beat the Eagles as well, and the Eagles obviously pulled it off. But Brady always loses the NFC East. That's a particularly painful memory for me because he just keeps handing rings to all my biggest rivals. I think they beat the Eagles once, but they lost the Giants twice, and then obviously last year to the Eagles again. So I can't. I hate it, but I think when he's not playing the NFC East, I feel like he just finds ways to get things done. I think he's better than Jared Goff, and I understand he hasn't been fully himself. You look at the last game, he essentially, because that pick was a legitimate pick and nothing to do with the offsides, he essentially had 1 touchdown, 3 picks. I can't remember the yardage off the top of my head, but I don't think it was spectacular. People remember those last 2 drives, right? The drive that put him in the lead and ultimately carried them into overtime, and then the overtime drive that ended up winning the game. People remember those drives, and yet his stats weren't great, and I feel like that kind of sums up the entire matchup here. I think Tom Brady, even if his stats aren't stellar or what they used to be in his prime or whatever it is, I do think that Tom Brady finds a way to win in the big moments. I think all these Super Bowls always with the Patriots will come down to very, very close games. One lucky break one way or the other. Not lucky, but, lucky for fans. And I feel like when that happens, more often than not, Brady, Belichick, the Patriots, these are the guys who win those sort of situations. So I'm looking forward to it, like I said, but I think it's going to be very similar to what we've seen in the past. I think it's going to be a close game. I think that the Patriots win, whether it's last second or I don't really see them dominating, so I think the Rams showed a lot of resolve facing the Saints and coming back at the Superdome, not taking anything away from them. I think the one chance that the Rams have is to run down the Patriots' throat. I think the run defense is somewhat exploitable. You have C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley. Granted, Todd Gurley barely played in the last game, but he's obviously going to be healthy with the bye week. And C.J. Anderson's been kind of the surprise of the season. I don't think people expect him to be as good as he was, and he's been running all over the people. I feel like when he gets the ball, and I'm sure this does not add up with the stats, but my visual of him running the ball in these playoffs is he just gets 8 yards every time, and no one can stop him. He just puts his head down, low center of gravity, and just kind of plows through people, and you can't stop him at the line of scrimmage. You can't get a tackle for loss. I feel like he's just a workhorse. And don't forget, Todd Gurley is arguably the best running back in the entire NFL. So they're going to have the running game. I'm not scared about Jared Goff's abilities to pick apart Patriots defense. I think Belichick will give him too many looks. But I do think the Rams running game has a chance. I think that's why it'll be close. I think you're going to have a great coaching matchup between Bill Belichick and shit, I'm blanking on his name. Sean McVay. Shit, that's not good. Hopefully it doesn't undermine everything. I just had a brain fart. It's tough with these videos. But yeah, I think you'll have a good coaching matchup. I don't know. I think, once again, I think the Patriots win a close one. Bonus over, under. 56.5, I think it is. I think both teams are going to rely heavily on the run game. Watch that clock just tick away. I think there's turnovers on both sides. I think Jared Goff and Tom Brady both make mistakes, throw picks at some point. I don't see a lot of fumbles, but even with the pass game, I think once the run's established, people are going to be doing those checkdowns, little play action plays. So there'll be short passes, a lot of completions, inbounds. Watch that clock just tick away. I think this game goes fast for a Super Bowl. I don't think you see the big explosive numbers you saw to Brady last year. I think under 56.5. Hammer that under and enjoy the Super Bowl, guys. Peace.